Well, there's always more than one issue that keeps you from sleeping the way you'd like. But I think today it's mostly around the stability of the economic cycle that we're in, and as we come out of recession, is that sustainable? Because it really comes back around to how you invest in growth. And if you believe that something's sustainable, then you can look out in a time horizon that enables you to invest for that 12 to 18 months. If you're unsure what the next quarter looks like, it becomes much more difficult because you have a much shorter window, much greater risk in that window in terms of how you invest in your business. So looking at the timing and the stability of our economic cycle is by far number one today.
Really what keeps me up at night is the concern over margin erosion and price commoditization, and that as an industry we need to find a way to combat that.
I think one of the major concerns today for the printing industry, is the post office. Now, it may sound strange to many people, but the post office right now, they're talking about changing the regulations, changing delivery. And the reason for this is very simple. The internet has had a major impact on the whole industry. And nobody can get to the internet unless they do direct mail marketing or put cards, because how are you going to find out what website to go to if you do not know? So the mailing industry has really been quite good in the catalog industry, and it's helped and supported by the internet. The post office, with their new regulations and possible tremendous price increases, cut back in delivery, could have a major impact on this industry.
I'm a pretty heavy sleeper, but I would probably say, between the economy and the political climate, there's just still some very much uneasiness. And with a lot of things that have kind of happened in Congress recently, they've been somewhat anti-business, and it's a concern because we need to have some things done in Washington that will actually improve the overall climate where there's a sense of confidence at a consumer level. And I think once consumers come back and start to spend the way they were a year ago, then I think that bodes well for the industry. But we're kind of stabilized again. We're not out of the woods. We're just not declining anymore. So that's probably the biggest thing that concerns me.
It's a hard question to answer, because if you're not a business owner, it's one answer, but as a business owner, it's a simple answer. Am I making the right decisions at any given time to grow my business financially, technologically, employee-wise, the customers I'm going after? So the biggest thing that keeps me up is, am I making the right decision at any time? But at some point, you make a decision, you jump off the diving board and hope there's water.
And really, just seeing what the struggles that clients are going through in their downtimes, and just losing some good people in the industry that either had to close their doors or they just couldn't make it. So that's very stressful. I hate seeing good people and good clients not make it.
I think at ESCO we sleep pretty well. However, I'll say that if we do not listen to our customers, we will not continue to succeed. So that's the main concern that I would have, is that we really are always listening to end users. They know much more about their businesses than we'll ever know. If we keep listening to them, I think we'll be okay.
Only one. I guess the first concern again would be this double risk of a double dip inflation, or a double dip recessionary type of situation. Again, I don't feel that that's as imminent or critical. The other thing that maybe wakes me up a bit at night is, I guess, disruptive technologies and the potential risk of disruptive technologies that might reduce the demand for print as we know it today and what we think it will be in the future. Those things might be things like plasma displays to replace stationary signage, might be things, again, like more electronic display versus more static displays that require print and, in turn, ink. This is not a new threat, though. This has been out there for a number of years. I don't really fear it, if you will. I think we just need to be aware of it. I think we need to be aware of some of these emerging and developing technologies, stay tuned into it and watch it, and then adjust your business strategies and approach accordingly. It's no more threatening than we thought inkjet might have been to analog print technologies 12 or 15 years ago. And you look now at an industry that is really pretty homogenized in terms of the type of technologies that they deploy to produce a graphic. So I guess the plasma display thing has been there, it will probably continue to be there, but I don't see it being a real near-term and imminent threat.
One of the biggest things that keeps me up at night right now is our government in the United States, and there doesn't seem to be a lot of cooperation going on. There's a lot of infighting and not a lot getting accomplished, but a lot of money being spent, and we're running very high debts. And that concerns me for the future for not only our country, but also for industry.
The old what keeps you up at night question. You know what keeps me up at night more than anything else is the lack of access to capital to small business in North America. And it really does bother me. All of the job creation that we've seen in this economy in the last 15 years has come principally through small business. And yet small business now, where we sit today here in 2010, has the hardest time gaining access to capital. And we sit in an exhibit hall full of wonderful new technologies, but how many of us have the cash on hand to go out and just buy those new technologies and bring them in? Almost all of those purchases are financed. And how do you finance those if you can't get access to capital? So it makes no sense at all to me that our government in the US and our banking system North America wide has been really concerned about large businesses and ignored small businesses and helping small businesses back up. That's where all the job creation has been. You want to create jobs, you want to turn this economy around, find a way for small businesses like ours, and let's face it, most of the businesses in our industry are defined by our government, they're categorized by our government as small businesses. And they've done precious little to help us gain access to capital in this really difficult time. They've talked about some plans, but they haven't executed any plans. And frankly, I think small business, whether you're in our industry or in another industry, is in desperate need of that. So I think that that's small business access to capital, that's the one thing that really bothers me in the middle of the night.
What, other than where my teenage children are? It would probably come back to the big challenge that's facing the industry today. I think we're coming out of that big recession, and actually the point where most companies fail is coming out of the recession. Where growth starts to come back in, if they don't watch the cash at that stage, they can overextend themselves very quickly. So we're very conscious, working with all of our distributors, our dealers, and our direct customers, looking at where they are and managing the cash situation. So that's where I think we can help a lot of them, working closely with them, but that's probably the one thing which would keep me awake at night these days.
You know, we're always passionate about our business, and I think that given the fact that we have to respond to so many of our customers' needs, that's what keeps us up at night. We're always looking for ways that we can appeal and add more value to whatever we do. Whether it's consulting or training or offering new solutions, we're always looking for an edge and always looking for new innovative ways to do that.
Complacency. Understanding that there's so much opportunity in the industry for growth and communication with potential customers, which impacts revenue for a lot of the business owners, and that they are not embracing it and moving forward. They've become complacent with how they've done things in the past. They need to move forward. That's what keeps me up at night.
I think in general, the investment in our industry, how much companies are willing to take risks in this financial environment to go to new technology. EFI has traditionally been a company where we have thrived on the fact that we're ahead of technology and innovation, and in all of our divisions and groups, our products are ahead of the competition. But we need customers to recognize that and to be willing to invest in that. And so I think in this environment, finding enough customers that are willing to take the risk to invest in that type of infrastructure, capital equipment, and consumables is the key to our success. And I think that in this financial environment is what keeps me up.